Hi Cancer, Trishna here. Welcome to your December 2019 love reading. So how we're going to do this reading is it's mostly going to be a tarot reading, but I'm first going to share the intuitive insights I've already picked up on. Then I'm going to shuffle the deck, pull out some cards, and we're going to look at the cards together and I'm going to go through each one of them. Okay, so in terms of what I'm feeling for you right now, so Cancer, I feel like our messages have been a little harsh the past few months, and I feel like this one is no different. And I think the reason why is because you're not listening. Okay, so I feel like currently you are in a position where you feel really confused about your relationships or your relationship. You either have been in a few and you don't know why they aren't working out, or you haven't been able to find a partner. That area of your life hasn't really moved forward, and you're not sure why it's been so stagnant. And the reason why is because, like I was saying before, you haven't really been paying attention, you haven't really been listening. I feel like the signs have been there, but you have kind of overlooked them. So, my past few Cancer videos have been a little harsh, and I feel like when you watch those videos, if you watch any other Cancer Tarot videos, you focus only on the positive and then you kind of say, oh, all that negative stuff doesn't apply to me. Which in most general readings, that is the case. If something doesn't apply to you, these readings are general, so you take what applies and what doesn't. But I feel like you are overlooking things that maybe you should actually be paying attention to. And I feel like this is actually also happening in your relationships. For those of you who are in them and can't figure out what's wrong, why aren't certain things working, it's because you aren't really paying attention to what's going on in the relationship and maybe some of the feedback that you're getting. And, you just somehow it's being told to you, but you're not hearing it. And so you're not doing anything about it. And so I feel like some of the issues, if I were to label one or two of them, I think for some of you it's a confidence thing. Some of you don't really feel very confident, and that's probably why you're not able to attract a partner in the first place. So, those of you who don't have a partner and feel stagnant in that area, that's probably why. For those of you who are meeting partners but they're not working out, I feel like the message for you is that you may be being you may be focusing on another area of your life too much to the extent where how could you bring in a new partner or how could that be successful? Or you may be being self centered, where whenever you are in a partnership, you keep the focus really mostly on you. And when your partner wants to share something or wants to talk, you're only half listening. You're really not paying attention. You're really not contributing to the conversation. So, how can a relationship really be formed if it's really mostly one sided? So, here's the thing about manifesting and reality and I guess relationships as well. If you are in a situation that is stagnant, or if you are in a situation that continues to repeat itself, chances are there is something that you are doing that you are either not realizing that you're doing or that you are overlooking and not really wanting to address. And so, if you are in this situation, if this reading is applying to you, then you do really need to address these things if you want to have success in your relationships. Now, I feel like Cancer, you're in this mode where maybe you don't really want to have success in your relationship. Like, I think deep down you want that, but you're also so focused on your career and your goals and other areas of your life that you kind of put relationships to the wayside, whether you're in them or you're in a stagnant position where you're not involved with partners. So, deep down you want a relationship, but I think on the mental level, you're just not focused on that. And I feel like maybe you should be focused on that. I feel like you really need to have a little more balance in your life, and being with a very loving partner would help you. Cancers tend to have this really tough outer shell because they're actually really soft and sweet on the inside, but they've learned through life to put up a protective barrier. And so cancers can sometimes have these really tough walls built up. And I feel like you really need a partner to help you bring down those walls so that the true essence of your inner self can come out. Because that's the real you, that's the you that came here to express itself. But you've had to protect yourself, and I think now it's safe for you to come out. And so I think it's really healthy, really important for you to open up the romantic area of your life. I feel like that's what 2020 should maybe be a bit more for you. Now you may be saying like, okay, well what am I supposed to work on then? And if I'm hitting stagnation or I keep having repeating patterns, like what do I need to work on? And that's where I'm saying like I've already told you. It's either confidence, or you've been focusing too much on a certain area of your life, or you're being very self-centered in your relationships where you're not listening to the other person and you're keeping most of the discussion centered around you and your life and what you want to talk about, etc. So, and the thing is that you don't have to be 100% perfect and working on these things. The universe and your partner is going to carry you the rest of the way. They want to support you. And so you just really have to try and put in the effort, and that's really all that is asked, and the rest will fall into place as it needs to. So I know this is kind of harsh, and you guys have all probably clicked off by now because you're like, I don't need to listen to this, but but I just feel like you really want a relationship, and you're not seeing that, and that's what's getting you stuck in the situation. And yeah, like I just feel like this area of your life could be a really happy area of your life and could really add to the rest of your life, because I think the rest of your life is going really well, and this would only enhance, and not just enhance, it would make the rest of your life magic. So, yeah. All right, Cancer, I'm going to shuffle the deck and then I'm going to pull out the cards and we're going to read the cards. All right, Cancer, so I shuffled the deck and pulled out some cards. In this video, we're going to focus on the top 6 cards. In the extended, we'll focus on the bottom 6 cards and pull any clarifying cards as needed. So in the top row, we have the 5 of Swords, the Hierophant, the Knight of Swords, the 7 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. So with the 5 of Swords, I feel like you have been in relationships, if you've been in relationships, and you've been taking this role of really not taking them seriously or kind of seeing them as fun and games. And in your head, you feel like your partners have been the ones that have been playing games, but I feel like you have actually been the one that is playing games, and maybe you haven't really realized that yet, because you've been playing games and you've been hurting a lot of people, and you've probably realized this on some level, but you're ignoring it because you don't really want to deal with the fact that you might be hurting people. Somehow there's like a confusion in your mind where you feel like other people are hurting you or other people are playing games with you, and really it's actually you doing a lot of that. They may be doing some of that, but I feel like most of that and most of the hurt is actually coming from you. And part of that is because you've been in this Hierophant energy where you really want to be fair. Cancer, you want to be fair. You're a good person, but in your mind right now, even though you really want to be fair, I feel like you've kind of been a bit of a tyrant and you haven't actually been very fair. And the reason for that is because you haven't really been thinking about people as people and the fact that they have feelings as well. So whenever you make your decisions, you're not considering people as people who have feelings. You're kind of casting them off to the side and really honestly not doing them justice in your decision making and how you've been treating them. And I think that part of you has been in the Knight of Swords energy as well, where you've just been so passionate. You've been going with full force into everything that you're doing in your life, in your career, and even in your love life. Like you've just been going full force, but it's in a way that has been with disregard for other people's well-being and their feelings. And so there's a lot of things that you've been doing that you haven't really been paying attention to, or you haven't really wanted to accept in yourself, that is causing a lot of people pain. And that's why your relationships aren't really working out right now, is because somehow your wires are crossed, or you just don't really want to deal with how you've been treating people. And I understand that, Cancer, because like I was saying before, you're a good person. So this is unusual. This is not like you. For some reason, you have been acting this way. And the reason why isn't coming out in these cards. So I guess that's not something for us to talk about in this video. Now, the 7 of Swords is somebody who is being a little bit deceptive and somebody who is trying to hide from others, somebody who is trying to get one over on other people. And I feel like this has also been your energy, but I also feel like you're kind of over it. And I also feel like maybe you feel like others have been doing that to you, but really, again, it's like the 5 of Swords. You've been doing that to other people. But again, I feel like you're kind of over this energy. You're really not enjoying the way that you're treating people, the kind of person that you are showing yourself as. And I think maybe you're just now breaking out of not facing that. You're finally breaking through and wanting to see things as they are so that you can fix them and be that better person that you know that you are. And probably, and like I feel like this seven or the six of swords is what people have been doing in response to what you've been doing. They have realized, okay, this Cancer is very turbulent and I don't really know what I can expect from them, and I'm just gonna move on. Like that's what they've been doing is they deal with you, they put up with you, and then they get really hurt, and then they finally are like, I gotta give up, I gotta move on. And that actually propels you all the way back to here where you get hurt, and then that makes you want to hurt other people and do all these stuff. So this has been a cycle that has been going on for you, Cancer, right now that just keeps repeating. And again, I don't really know what started the cycle that's not coming through in these cards, but it is something that has been repeating. I do feel like you're headed to this Nine of Pentacles though, which usually is about somebody coming to you with an offer, but I feel like this is you making apologies. I feel like apologies are definitely in order and that you are starting to come to terms with this. And this is scary, but I do feel like there's a lot of people that you need to apologize to and that you are getting ready to be able to do that. And I feel like people are actually going to be really forgiving and really receptive to your apology, and they're going to be really understanding. They know that love is a tough game, and we all get hurt, and sometimes we make mistakes, and sometimes we see things in a certain way that didn't really apply. So I feel like they are going to be very forgiving, and they're going to really appreciate that you made those moves to apologize. So don't worry about the repercussions from that. Don't worry that you've ruined things with these people for forever. Maybe you can't be in a relationship with them again romantically, but you can build bonds. You can even build some friendships if you like with some of these people. Now, this is kind of giving me an idea of what exactly has caused you to continue with this cycle the way that you have. And I think that you have been hurt in the past. Again, Cancer, you are a very sensitive soul and you've had to build up walls. And I feel like you have been hurt maybe very deeply in the past in your relationships. Maybe for some of you, not all of you, but maybe for some of you, you've been with somebody who tried to change you and you don't want to be changed. You want to do whatever you feel like doing and not care about the repercussions of how that affects other people because maybe people tried to force you to care more than you needed to, or maybe nobody cared about you and you feel like this is the way that you need to be as well. For some of you, you may feel like you've been hurt before and you're playing all of these games subconsciously. Like again, you don't really realize what you're doing a lot of the times. And so maybe like for some of you, you've been playing these games because people have played games with you before and you don't want to be in that position where you're on the receiving end. You would rather maybe hurt them instead before they can hurt you. So I feel like that is probably what got you in the cycle in the first place, and that's why you continue in the cycle because you're hurting people, hurting people, you're over hurting people, like you're overdoing that, but then people are leaving you, which then hurts you, so then you begin hurting the next person, hurting, then they leave you, which hurts you, and it's just a cycle of being hurt. But I do feel like you're moving beyond that now. Again, you're over this, and I do feel like you're in this mode of, maybe I need to mend some relationships, maybe I need to rebuild some bonds, maybe I need to like give some apologies and put my vulnerability out there and let people hurt me and not feel the need to protect myself because I don't need protection. I'm a strong person and I can always move on. And what one person says, while I want to take the positive feedback from that, it doesn't have to affect me at a very deep level that changes me completely in a way that I don't want to be changed. So Cancer, I understand, like, especially understanding this whole cycle. Again, I've always said that you guys are very, very good people. You're just not really consciously aware of the impact that you're having on others. And that's because of some programming that has happened in your past that has tried to suppress some of what you're doing so that you can feel safe and that you can feel good and feel in control of the situation because maybe in the past you haven't felt in control. So that's what I'm feeling for you, Cancer, for this video. In the extended, we're going to talk about these 6 cards. So if you're interested in what those cards are, there's the King of Swords, we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Two of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. And just looking at this at a very high level, I feel like these are all really wonderful cards. I feel like you're going to be like this. I know this is love reading, but I'm seeing like success kind of in career, success in love, And this guy looks like he's juggling, but I actually see this as a positive card. I don't see this as juggling for you. Success and happiness in life. So it's looking pretty good, Cancer. So you're obviously on the right path. So that's good. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to see that. So Cancer, thank you so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too harsh. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe. If you have a comment, please feel free to leave it below, even if you're mad at me for what I said, if you stuck through this whole video. I'm still happy to hear it. And yeah, I will see you in the extended. If you're interested in that, you can access it at the link at the end of this video, www.patreon.com/Trishna. It's also in the description box. And if not, then I will see you in 2020.